think sometimes she get worried because she thinks that, oh, my daughter, she has to go through a lot. So I sometimes do not tell her each and everything. So if I'm going through something which I believe that my mother will then get panic, I just stand in front of mirror and I talk to the person I'm looking at the mirror, who will never judge myself. And most of the times when I'm talking, I find the solution as well. And
Very
a glass
interesting.
of cold water helps. I never
Aaron.
react. I never react. So even if I'm very angry, I never react. I never send an email when I'm angry. I always calm myself down. And if I'm talking to you now, if I get angry, you will never see that on my face. I will be very, very calm. I will compose myself with a glass of water. And then I will only give my views once I'm ready. So I think that's my advice. That's a very practical advice. I do not know bookish knowledge. I only know the bookish knowledge of accounting and finance. I'm sorry, Jonathan. With all the wisdom, I have just learned through, living the life. So it's all very practical.
That is extraordinarily amazing, and now I understand why you resonated with Aaron's comment about the mirror, and I saw Aaron nodding there. So Aaron, what's your perspective on who you speak to?
Well, the mirror exercise that you go through reminded me of what I tell new coaches. Whenever I'm working with new coaches, there's often a sense of, I don't know if I'm good enough. How do I know that I'm going to give people value, all of this sort of stuff. And the story that I go back to there is, it was a baker who was closing up his shop at the end of the night, and then he would go out and he would talk to a street lamp for 5 or 10 minutes, and he would just download his day. He would tell the street lamp all the good things, all the bad things, all the indifferent things, his hopes and dreams for the next day, and what he might do differently. And it's just through this process of being able to talk through his things out loud that helps him make sense of his day and connect all of the dots. Whereas if they just stayed in his mind, he might not have been able to see the connections between all the things and also have a game plan for the next day. But it's, just speaking the truth out loud has a great way of just decluttering everything that's in your mind. And also, like, the things that we say out loud, that's where our power comes from. So
Yeah.
I definitely resonate with some of that. The other thing that came up there was, I think whenever you feel, when you're really stuck in it, when you're really a little bit dead inside, when you're really down and miserable, when you feel really stuck, for me, that kind of screams inner child is really, really hurt. So when you were talking about listening to like a funny YouTube clip or a radio clip or anything like that, that's a really good way to reconnect with the inner child, because we need our inner child to help us be creative. It's the energy behind everything that we do, and without it we just don't do anything. So I think just going back to, there's something funny, something light, something, whatever you used to do when you were a kid, absolutely, that you loved doing, that you were just in, hours would go by and it would only feel like minutes. That sort of stuff, if you can immerse yourself into that will help you to reconnect with your inner child, and just to kind of raise yourself out of the quicksand, so that you can then have a little bit more access to some better thinking that will give you better results.
So I definitely agree. The only thing is, and this is what I was saying about becoming more aware of myself. So I used to tell people, before I knew about myself, I'd say, all you got to do is this. And that all you got to do, I didn't realize was the product of 25 years of conditioning. I didn't realize was the product of dealing with extreme pain. Because if you're an asshole, and I've only got one hand, so you had to learn patience. Because if I got frustrated by the things I can't do, I would go mad. But I don't do the things I can't do. I do all the things I can do. But it was forced on me. I had to change when I got right down to the bottom of the pit. You described being at the bottom of a pit. Nidhi's experience is horrifying, and I'm really sorry, and thank you for sharing that. So, finding funny. Okay, I'm going to play you another audio clip.